Hello everyone and welcome back. This is part 9 and today we're gonna have a quick look at rendering. Okay, so this is where we left the scene. We have finished the materials using basic materials and now I'm gonna walk you through a few settings, but of course you can have more details in a lesson I did a bit earlier for the project, the Alchemist Workshop. Okay, so we set this to cycles, okay, and we use GPU compute if it's available. Okay, if your GPU can handle it, you can go to Preferences in System and then choose whichever option suits your GPU. Okay, then for the samples, because we are using denoising, you don't need a high number of samples. I usually go for 184, but I'm gonna just show you how it is with 256. And then you've got also an important parameter, which is the light path. And you can see here that there is 0 for the volumes. Okay, because usually you don't use volumes that often. But let's say we're gonna add 1, so it's just a cube. Okay, just like that, around the whole scene. And I'm gonna give it a material, which I will call fog. Okay, and then you don't need the principal VSDF, so replace it by the principal volume and connect its output to the volume input of the material. You can see now that there is a lot of dense fog. Then if I lower the density, it will be less and less noticeable. Okay, so now I can crank up the volume number for the light path. And this will be it for this rendering. Make sure you got the correct image size, the frame rate as well, and then choose the output folder and the format file. I'm using a file format which will result in a sequence, because then if it crashes during the process, I don't lose everything but just the frames that will not be rendered. Then you will go there in the render menu and choose render animation, but of course first it will be good to select a frame and then to render just that one to make sure everything is alright. So I'm rendering one of them, and you can see here, if you look at the image very small, okay, from afar, you can see that the TV screen is taking too much attention from the hamburger. So what I'm gonna do is just reduce the strength of the lights on the TV screen and increase the one from the real lights. What we can see here is a kind of halo, which is the light dispersed into the volume. So to remove that, just go into the object properties and uncheck here volume scattering. So now it's not taken into account by the object, which is the light. Okay? So now I think I'm just gonna do another test render. See if it's okay. I think it is. Okay, even from afar, that's great. And it's time to launch the final render. Okay, using the render menu and render animation. And here is the results of our scene rendered. I think you can notice a few errors here and there, but that's still part of the process. We can correct them in a later stage. Okay, and now again, as usual, time for another scene. I'm gonna duplicate this entire scene. Again, delete everything from it. Okay, and now I'm just gonna import the character, the same as usual. Okay, into this scene, pause it. Okay, this is gonna be a very quick scene. Okay, because there is only characters involved in that, not a lot of elements. So now that our character is posed correctly, like it's straightened, okay, what I'm gonna do is duplicate it and have several others around it. Then of course I will place them in the right spots, depending on my camera view, okay? And after that, because I already have in mind what I want to do roughly, I can start to pose my main character, okay? Just slowly like that, little by little. Doesn't need to be in a hurry, as long as it's correct. Okay? I mean, it feels correct to me right now, but you will see later on that I'm gonna modify it. Also, I'm using the display on the camera of the third, as I did since the beginning of this project, okay, just to make sure the elements are at the right place. Now I'm placing my other characters around my main one. And once I'm happy with the positioning, what I'm gonna do is to pose all the other characters one by one. I'm sure you will guess after a while what it is about. I mean, one person surrounded by a lot of other persons that have their hands toward the person can only mean one thing. Those that look like zombies. Okay, I'm sure you guessed it. And again, you can see it's the same mannequin we used since the beginning. And this guy was one after the other. I'm not sure it's the correct order, but just a normal guy in his living room. Then he went on being an Indian on a horse. He also was like a kind of rebel and stormtrooper. He then became like a warrior with a sword. Okay. What else? He was a space pilot, because it was a spaceship that we did in the last lesson, and now he's just a normal dude with knives and also a zombie. Okay? So this is just the posing that makes the difference. And of course the environment. Okay, so moving on to finishing the zombie poses. Okay, I'm almost done. There's a lot of them, of course, otherwise it's not funny. And now I'm just adjusting the last one. Okay, and I'm just setting up my camera focus. Okay, adding some more details. Now it's time for a bit of setting. When I think about this, the main thing I can see is either a railroad or just a road surrounded by trees. So this is exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm switching to Eevee now and adding the lighting, the sun, which of course is gonna be casting blue lights because it's scarier when it's just the moon. Okay, I'm adding also a bit of down lights for the scary effects and to add a bit of interest in the lighting. Some other stuff that will be the top of the trees to create more shadows in the background. And then I'm just like quickly modeling a knife, which are these characters' special weapons. Now, if you've seen the series, you know which character it is. Okay, and that's great as well. It's just two objects in hands. You can see and guess who it is. Okay, changing a bit the posing here because he was touched by a zombie. That's not good. And also I'm adding lights on the blades because I want them to pop out from the space. And of course I'm adding also zombies at the beginning of the animation and something as well. I might change that, I'm not sure, at the end, but I want this to be a bit different, so I made it a bit bigger to be more menacing like. Okay, and now, as usual, here is the results. Okay, so I hope you liked it, and that you also, in your own projects, are doing some incredible things, and that you get inspired by all the things I'm creating here, just in front of you. I wish you all the best, and I liked your comments. If you like it or if you want to see something else, like maybe there is some kind of universe you want me to try my hands on for this project, like I'm doing every time now. Okay, do not hesitate. And again, have a great week, have a great life. I'll see you soon.